real quick, and then we'll upload it to our Facebook page. So I'll be sure to drop the Facebook page in there for all of you. But I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Colleen Biggs, and I'm the founder of the LEAP community. I've been running another community called Lead Up for Women for a long time. That community is no longer around. So the ladies demanded that we stay together and educate each other and network with each other and help grow our businesses and really develop within. I mean, that's what all this is about. All of our members, and why we use this platform is they come together and they use their secret sauce to teach you something about, it could be nutrition, it could be your estate planning. My gosh, it could be your chakras, it could be, SEO for business websites. So what I love about the women that are in this organization, the LEAP community, is that they are here to offer you advice in every area of your life, right? Because we all do something different. So we're happy you're here, Melinda. I'll drop some information so those of you that aren't a member of our Facebook group can join that as well. And of course, I'll drop some more information on how you can be a teacher of one of these Thrive Thursday masterclasses and get so much more spotlights for yourself to be able to be seen, be heard, and be visible, because that's what LEAP is all about. And Pam, hello, Pam. We're so happy you're here today. Pam and I actually did a book together. I met her many eons ago when I did my first book as a collaboration, and she was one of the editors, and that's how we met. So Pam, please introduce yourself and where you're coming from.
Thank you. I'm coming from St. Louis, and I can tell people in warmer climates have sleeveless on because I have a sweater and the heat on, because in St. Louis today, it's 42 degrees because that's St. Louis. Colleen and I did meet many years ago, not many, just a few, because we're only really 35 anyway. We worked together, and I was so glad to meet her. And I actually, I have started a writing business. So it's interesting when this came up, when life throws you curveballs, I'm like, okay, wait, how many hands do I have to try and catch them? And I am also recently divorced. I call myself single. So I'm all about trying new things and being optimistic. That's sort of my default mode, but I love to learn. And so I am always happy to be in Colleen's community and her presence, because she's such great energy. So I am really glad to be here.
Oh, so happy that you're here. Thank you, Pam. Bonnie, you want to introduce yourself and tell us where you're coming from?
Sure. I'm coming from Scottsdale, Arizona. And so Colleen and I are kind of neighbors. So what else what we do? Because I just got on.
What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? Who are you?
What am I do? I'm a holistic health counselor. I do functional nutrition. I do massage therapy. Kind of both those hats. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm been focusing on. And thanks. I'm also studying, keep studying. So I'm finishing up another certification. Well, I'm in the middle of another certification. Let's put it that way.
You're awesome, Bonnie. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Lynn, do you want to take yourself off mute and say hi and tell us where you're coming in from, that tropical place that you're at right now, and who you are?
So this is a virtual background of a place that I have actually been to. But I didn't take this particular picture or video. I'm coming from Midlothian, Virginia, which is outside of Richmond, Virginia, site of the first coal mines in the United States. And I'm here because I am a big Vicki fan.
Oh, hold on here. I got to stop. This is a virtual background of a place that I have.
Hey, how are you?
Great. Good to see you.
I didn't take this particular. It's nice to see you too. Or video. I'm coming from Midlothian.
Sorry, the recording is
okay. Got it. Sorry about that. I had to stop. The YouTube just started playing back in the background, and so I had to go find it. I couldn't find it anywhere on my tab, so I'm so sorry about that. Lynn, go ahead.
I have multiple certifications in wellness techniques, and have been published as far as my writing and art and photography. is concerned.
That's wonderful, Lynn. It's so great to meet you. We're so happy that you're here. And let Jerry, why don't you tell us where you're coming from and who you are?
Hi, I am Jerry Bowers, and I'm coming from Goodyear, Arizona, which is absolutely beautiful today. And I am all about money. I love teaching people how to build their foundation. I help you create it, and it's great because you cannot lose. That is my focus, and it drives me every day.
I love that. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for being. We have a lot of people from Arizona here. That's great. And let's see, Mary, introduce yourself, please. Tell us where you're coming from.
Hi, I'm Mary Scott. I'm currently in St. Louis, Missouri, but I'm originally from New York, and I'm a business concierge. So what do you need? Who do you need to meet? What do you need set up for you? Do you need to brainstorm? And I'm particularly good with brand new businesses.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. And then we got Marcy Gallegos is here. Marcy, please say hi and where you're coming from.
Hi, my name is Marcy Gallegos, and I'm with Mosaic Insurance Alliance. I am an insurance broker, and I am here in Arizona also. Jerry invited me today, and I'm so happy to attend and see you, Colleen. You look great.
Oh, Marcy, I love you. We're so glad you're here. I love being in the same circles with you. So Jerry, thanks for inviting her here today. Donna, why don't you go ahead and say who you are and where you're coming from. Donna's actually one of our division directors in Pennsylvania and New Jersey and runs one of our chapters for the LEAP community. So Donna, please introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Donna Meyer. I'm from South Jersey, not North Jersey, South Jersey.
There's a difference, by the way. I'm from
there's
New
a
Jersey.
difference. There's a difference in the accent. Yeah. I'm a business growth strategist, and I help small businesses and service professionals to attract their ideal clients and make more money.
Thank you, Donna. She's incredible at what she does. Sherry Oswald, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're coming from.
Hi, I'm Sherry Oswald. I'm with Power Up Learning, and we are a learning and adoption specialist company. We empower people to use technology and gain some more of their day back. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and the snow melted. It's beautiful outside. I'm so excited.
Oh, I love me some Colorado weather. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I think I got everybody on here, but if I missed anyone, I'll just apologize now. I think I got everyone. Does anyone not have a chance to speak? I got everyone. Okay. And then now I can't seem to find Vicki. Where are you?
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are, Vicki. So I was looking for you. Okay. All right. So Vicki is our Thrive Thursday Masterclass teacher today and member of the LEAP community. And I'll put that information in here. And I'm going to hand over the baton to Vicki so she can get you guys started and we can jump right into the meat of what we're going to be discussing today of when life throws you curveballs, don't eat them. I just love that. It's so cool. And just a reminder, we do these every single Thursday, except the first Thursday of the month. We reserve the first Thursday of the month for us to meet together for our networking event that we do that's called Lunch and Learn, Take the Leap Lunch and Learn. And I run that Lunch and Learn, and you get the chance to network with ladies in different breakout rooms. So you're going to network in 3 different breakout rooms. You're going to meet a lot of ladies. We're going to have fun. I have a little dance party in the beginning. So I hope you join us April 7th. I will put the link in the chat. It's my birthday and I'm turning 50. And I would love for all of you to come and celebrate with me and get to meet some other wonderful ladies in the community. So I'll drop that in the link as well. Vicki, the platform is all yours, lady.
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, I'm in Florida. So that's why the short sleeves. It's been in the 80s and 90s here, but it is a rainy day. If that makes you feel any better for those who have snow. So life throws you curveballs, but don't eat them. Curveballs in baseball is known as one of the most difficult pitches to hit. And it's because it comes at a surprise. And when I originally wrote this speech, I was talking about some of the surprises you were all talking about: divorce, illness, those calls in the middle of the night, someone's been in a car accident. Those type of things tend to take us really off track. But of course, we all know what happened. This happened. And in 2020,
We can't see that. We're not see. We can only see when life throws you curveballs. Don't eat them. Is there, oh, there it goes. Oh, it's just slow. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, got it.
Slow. So this happened, and we all know that this happened, and it was the most extreme curveball we have ever had in our entire lives. And it happened to all of us. It happened to all of us in the same way. And there it is. Yes, that. So that happened to us. But something amazing also happened. Through a lot of that, there was a lot of breakthroughs and there was a lot of ahas. But here's what made it worse. The pandemic threatened all 4 of our human basic needs all at the same time, and everyone experienced it, which is something that hasn't happened in like 100 years. So in a century or longer, this hasn't happened. And what are those basic needs? So one was finances. So people were losing their jobs or they were getting cut back in their pay. The next was shelter and food. So where are you going to live? How are you going to get your pay for your food? So that was also bothering us. And then education. Our kids were out of school. They didn't know what to do with the kids for the longest time. So that's one of our 4 basic needs. Of course, our health was threatened. And let me make sure that I didn't miss one. Oh, education, health, and shelter and food. So this is what happened. All 4 at the same time threatened. So what usually happens when we're under stress, if we start pulling our hair out, we do one of 2 things. We either fight or you try to run away. And we couldn't do either of those. So here's what happened. It made it worse. It made it worse for us to try to learn to cope with what was going on. And so this is what happened. We started eating and drinking more. We're just trying to cope with the stress. We couldn't fight it off. We didn't know what we were fighting for the longest time, and we couldn't run away from it because we were stuck in our houses. So this is what started happening. And then this happened. Yep, that. Average weight.
They call it the COVID-15, right?
Average weight gain was 30.
Oh, the COVID 30. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was 30 pounds, which is really crazy because most people heard it was 15, and I was shocked when I heard it was 30 pounds. Now, some people have released that weight, which is fabulous, but what's happened is new habits for coping have been formed. And those habits have been ingrained in our brains. And those habits have become very difficult to change. And no matter what we do, no matter what we try, we can't seem to change them. It doesn't seem that easy. Does this make sense to any of you? Just put yes in there. I'm not saying you're admitting to anything. I'm just saying this all makes sense, that it's difficult to change a habit after that experience. So now we're coming out the other side. Yes, thank you. Yes. We're coming out the other side, and COVID-19, yeah, and it is sad. And I come across a lot of clients who have put on the extra weight, and they had extra weight to begin with. So now it's an additional 19 to 30 pounds, and they just still haven't gotten it off. And they're like, well, why can't I release this weight? Well, it's because we're still feeling threatened in some way, even though things have been pretty loosened up. We still have been feeling threatened. There's still some uncertainty. Fortunately for me, living in Florida, we have been open, I guess you could say, open door for about 15 months. We had to wear a mask in certain areas and still do. We still have to wear a mask in our doctor's office or dentist's office. But for the most part, we were fortunate that a lot of those restrictions were removed pretty quickly, being a tourist state. But I just talked to someone in Brazil who they just got through not having to wear a mask everywhere. And some of the restaurants are still closed. And there's a sense of hopelessness and a little bit of helplessness going on, because she goes, I just don't know if it's going to return back to normal And unfortunately, I could share with her, it will take some time, but yes, it will return to normal. We are at the place where restaurants are 100% capacity. They have been for several months, and it inched up. So it was 25% for a while, and then it was 50, and it was 75. Now it's 100%. Things are changed. Even when you go out to eat at a restaurant, things are still changed. Limited menus, usually something that's laminated so they can clean it, or something they can throw away. So things have changed in the restaurant industry, but things are fairly back to normal. Stores that are open 24/7 are open 24/7, not limited hours. So it's really there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But for some of those countries and some of those places, it still feels very constrictive. And so I was grateful to be able to call them and give them hope. Mary Scott says she lost 15 pounds. Yay, Mary. Some people did, because stress actually creates the response of not eating. And is that good or bad? It just is. Some people did let go of some pounds because of the stress from that. And that's one of the two ways we cope, right? We either don't eat or we eat a lot, or we drink a lot. Gambling, all kinds of other shopping addictions, all kinds of addictions started showing up during the pandemic that we're having a really hard time breaking free of now. But you've learned this habit, and the habits have been formed, and you could decide to stop. Everyone says, well, just decide to stop. I've worked with people for over 20 years, especially around eating, but with other habits as well. And that's the first step. You decide to stop, but it's not what is going to pull you through. And so we're still eating so much, we're still drinking so much, and we're procrastinating. So if you're finding yourself procrastinating and growing or building your business, this is a result from the pandemic. Maybe you had these tendencies before, but this is a result from the pandemic. It's still kind of following us along. It's still kind of shadowing us. And that feeling of overwhelm. I find that so many people come to me and they say, I feel overwhelmed, and I feel overwhelmed often, and I can't seem to shake it. This is what's going on. It's still from that experience. And as much as we want to leave it behind us, it hasn't happened yet. And in the Dr. Phil fashion, how is that working for you? That you just decided you're going to stop. Most of the time it's not working because it requires willpower. And willpower is an amazing thing that we have all been given. However, willpower is like putting money in the bank. You have so much willpower in your bank account every morning. And if you use it up quickly, then at 8 o'clock at night, when you're having that craving for something delicious or another glass of wine, it makes it difficult to say no. Willpower is very interesting. It's used up through all of the small decisions that you make every single day. So what are you going to wear this morning? How are you going to fix your hair? Will you put on makeup or not? I look at my calendar to decide if it's a makeup day or not. What are you having for breakfast? All of those small decisions use up your bank account for your willpower. And that's why it's difficult later in the day. If you're using up your willpower bank account in other events that have happened in your life that has caused some kind of emotional upset, it's going to be used up more quickly. So even then, you're going to have more difficulty sticking to a program if you're on a food program or I hate to use the word diet, but a diet, everyone knows what those are. If you're trying to increase your exercise, even if you're trying to drink more water, or if you're going to make those sales calls that you can't get to make yourself, it gets used up very quickly. And so pushing your way through is not always the best way to get results. You can do it. I know you can. I know you have. But it's not sustainable. What is instead is motivation. And what is motivation? It is moving into the place where you feel like you're inspired and you take action from that inspiration rather than pushing yourself or forcing yourself. And so if many of you are like me, I don't always feel inspired to make sales calls. You don't feel inspired to do some of the work. Am I alone or is anybody else? Go ahead in there and put, a number 1 in the comment field. Let me know if you sometimes not feel inspired or motivated to take action. Yeah, thank you. I didn't think I was alone. I was hoping not. But motivation comes from a deep space within yourself, knowing that you're going to, and here's what I use for motivation. Every one of those phone calls that I make, and I might not reach anybody, and that's usually why I hate doing it. But regardless, if I leave a voicemail or just reach out to them, it is of service to them. It's not for me. And I can tell you there's been many times I've reached out to someone and the connection that we had was what they needed that day, whether I made a sale or not, and that's in service to them. And that's what motivates me to do a lot of the things that I need to do. It's really finding your why. And everyone says that, and it kind of makes me go, that's old news. I've heard that all the time, but it's really finding what is that deep why for you? What's the purpose for you to be in business, to take care of your weight, to make sure that you're having amazing relationships? What's your why behind that? What do you want from it? And what's going to keep you motivated so that you can continue on? So I'm sure you're all here because you want to learn another way. Yes? Go ahead, yes. Yes, all right. So here's what we're going to do. First, you need to learn where it's all coming from. What is, besides your motivation, what is the sabotage? Where is that coming from for you? And what I've learned in my work together is that for like 20 years now, there are 4 archetypes that sabotage your efforts. And you will have 1, perhaps 2 of them. I play with 3 of them because I'm an overachiever. I'm just saying that I'm an overachiever in some things that are not good for me, but I'm an overachiever. So I play with 3. Now it's not consistent and it's not all the time, but one of these at least is going to be one that gets in your way, that blocks you, that stops you, that says you can't do that. And how we're going to find out which one you have is we're going to do some question and answers. And I've got 4 questions. It's from an 8-question survey that I give. If you want the survey for all 8 questions, I'll be glad to send it to you. So just drop your information in the chat and I'll make sure you get that. This is how I find out what my clients are bumping up against. These same archetypes will sabotage all parts of your life. And so we're going to be rating these 1 to 10. 10, the statement is very true to you. 1, it's not so true. All right, so you got it so far? I'm going to give you a statement. You're going to rate it 1 to 10. 10 is, this is so very true to me. And then down to a 1, that's not so true. So here's your first question. Having a lot of money is a big responsibility. 1 to 10, rate yourself. Maybe you have a piece of paper there with you so you can just jot down your numbers.
Say 1, which was 1 and which was 10?
1 is not true. And 10 is very true. And then you're going to rate it in a scale between 1 and 10. Having a lot of money is a big responsibility. Number 2, if I get rich, others will think that I'm better than they are. If I get rich, others will think that I'm better than they are. Number 3, it's not right for people to have any more money than they need to live comfortably. Number 4 is no matter how hard I try, I keep falling short of having enough money. Now, why am I using money as an example? I thought we were talking about food. And I'll tell you why. Because as I said, these archetypes touch every part of your life. And I'll explain how they're really just interwoven between money and weight and even relationships in just a moment. Do you all got answers to those questions? You see heads, yes? Okay. All right, great. All right, so you're going to circle the 1 or 2 that might be an 8 or 10. Put a square around the ones that are between 6 and 8. So 8 actually got on there twice. So I go 8 or 10 is a circle, 6, 7 is a square. Triangle around the 3 to 5. And any 1s or 2s you don't play with very much. I really wouldn't worry about those too much, but just be aware of what it is so that it comes up for you. All right, so your 8 and 10s are the ones, is the 1. If you're an 8 or a 10, it's the 1 archetype that sabotages everything in your life. All right, and I'll share with you what those are in just a second. If it's a 6 or 8, every now and then it will show up, probably more often than you like. If it's a 3 to 5, again, I'm an overachiever, so I have 3 of them. So I have one that's a 3 to 5, and then the other one I don't play with at all. So, and notice I'm saying play with, because I don't want to think you're feeling bad about yourself because you have these. Everyone has these. So here's the key. If you answered number 1 as an 8 and a 10, your archetype is burden and responsibility. So the question was, go back to my questions, having a lot of money is a big responsibility. So that is a burden or feeling of a lot of money, you're responsible for it. I'm gonna have to keep building that money. I'm always going to have to work hard, perhaps is something you're saying, or it's going to be a burden to me, or I'm going to be a burden. Had a business owner, he had just bought a gym and he was just getting it started. He was finding that his own personal training was going by the wayside. He was building his business. He was worried about money, for one, trying to build his business. He had a wife and 3 children under 5 at home, so he had to support them as well. And his health was declining because he wasn't able to work out. So through our work together, he realized that he really wanted to start eating back on his program and start exercising again. But in order to do that, he would have to ask his wife to help make his food so he could take it into the gym with him. And he didn't want to burden her with more responsibility. So you can kind of see how that works. Now we worked through burdening her and how just he could ask, she could say no. If she didn't, she did, of course, say, yes, I'm going to help you. And she made his food and he was able to get back on track in his health. He now owns 2 gyms. He's very, very successful. So if money is a burden and responsibility, that's your archetype. Number 2, if you answered number 2, 8 to 10, it's disloyal or abandoned. And that question was, I'm flipping around on different things here. If I get rich, others will think I'm better than they are. Another client, a CFO for a large city here in Florida, wanted to have her own business. And at that time, she had been involved with a MLM product that she really loved the product, but she couldn't pick up the phone. Even to customers who had bought from her in the past, she couldn't follow up with them. I'm like, you talk to very important people all over the world and you call them and don't have an appointment. What's the disconnect? And for the longest time, she couldn't figure it out until during one of our sessions, she started talking about how anytime she talked about her business rather than her work, everyone in her family would say things like, well, you've got a great job, you should keep it, stay there and retire. You know, what's wrong with you? Why would you want to walk away from your business? Why would you want to walk away from your career? And through the work together, what ended up happening is she was able to quit her job. It did take her a few more years, but what we discovered was it would be disloyal to her family to start a business. There was an unspoken rule in her family that you went to school, you went to graduate school, you got a good job, you kept it till you retired, and you died, basically. That was the unspoken rule. So about 2 to 3 years later, she did leave her job. She and her husband now run a multi-million-dollar business. It's their business. So that disloyalty, it's very sly and it comes up really strangely. I know for myself, as a fat kid, my mom was my eating buddy. And we used to go to Howard Johnson's, I don't know if you all know what those are, to have hot fudge sundaes after we went to the gym. Right? I was her eating buddy. And to not do that with her, I would have been disloyal. It's a very sly, sneaky way of sabotaging us. Or some people feel they'll be totally abandoned altogether, especially in weight loss. My clients are fearful that their friends won't like them or want to be with them anymore, because guess what? Their friends are fat too. And that could happen. And I'm quite honest with them, that could happen. And that feeling of abandonment and that fear of losing their friends usually comes from something very, very early on. Questions so far? We have a question? Yeah, Linda's right. It's all about energy transfer. Yeah, for sure. All right, number 3, spirit standing out. Don't see this often, but I do see this every now and then. That is, don't want all the attention on you. Don't want to be highly visible. In Colleen's tribe, this is what we all want to be visible. So Colleen's not going to see this much with her clients. But this is sometimes a fear of that is unexplainable. They don't know why they're not making the reach outs to get speeches or do podcasts. That is that fear of standing out, being seen. And again, this all goes back to usually something that's in our childhood that may have made us feel like we didn't have the right to, or we shouldn't. Growing up, I still heard children should be seen and not heard. So I just took that into my teenage and adult years as well, that I shouldn't be heard or seen. So fear of standing out could be one of your archetypes if it's an 8 or 10, or even if it's a 6 or 7, then it could be like the second or third one on your list. And number 4 is not enough. The question for number 4 is, no matter how hard I try, I keep falling short of having enough money. Not enough is not enough time, not enough money, not enough food, not enough love. So all of those are not enough. Anytime you use the word not enough, then that's probably one of your archetypes. And I'll be very vulnerable here. This is my number one archetype. This is the one that comes and plays every day and says, you don't need to make those phone calls because they don't want to listen to you anyway. You don't have enough time to complete everything on your to-do list. I wake up and the first thing in the morning is there's not enough time to do what I need to do. So it is, Donna's shaking her head. I see a couple of head shakes. Yeah, this is the one that I play with constantly. It is a daily playmate. Because what it does is it continues to remind me how far away from source I've gotten, because time is, even to our scientists, time is infinite. It's an illusion. There's always enough time. And I've actually experimented with that and found that that's true. I had a speech I was doing locally, and it's about 20 minutes to drive there. And I had 15. I left my house late and I had 15 minutes to get there. And I intended for every light to be green and people to get out of my way. And I made it there in 15 minutes. I mean, I was walking in the door. I'm not saying I was, had everything laid out and everything, but I was walking in the door on time to start that program, to start that speech. And so I've played with time and it does work. You can play with all of this and change it and change your mindset about it. And that's what's happened, is these have been so ingrained in our brain that they're now subconscious and they're messing with us, and we sometimes don't even realize it. How do we realize it? You listen to your words and you listen to your thoughts, and that's how you're going to know. But this is what you need to know. This BS is running and ruining your life. And what I mean by BS, your belief systems. It's all keeping you stuck. And these archetypes, every structure, you're right, Colleen, everything starts with our mind. Everything starts with our thoughts. And I love that you thank God every morning for your abundance of time and to complete all that's necessary throughout the day. I love that. Not only that, the abundance of money and the perfect clients that come to you and the amazing conversations that you have. Put all that in there. There's nothing wrong with asking for more. Right? There's nothing wrong with asking for more. No one said there's a limit to any of this. Any questions, any comments, anyone want to add? Stories about someone else. You don't even have to give a story about yourself. We'll make it all fictional. Just raise your hand if you have a comment or a question. I can't see everyone, Colleen. So
it's okay. If they don't know how to raise their electronic hand under reactions, they can raise their hand. Just click on reactions and raise your hand. If you guys don't know how to do that, just unmute yourself and then start talking if you want to share. Either one of those, right? Has there been BS in your life and you want to share a story of why that's true? I mean, I'll share my story about couponing. Any of you that have known me for a really long time know that I was like the coupon queen for so long, right? I would teach classes on couponing to everybody. And it was all about saving money, right? I could get the best deals everywhere. So what was I focused on? I was so focused on lack. My mindset was lack. Everywhere, everything I did was about, making sure I had a right coupon for something. I didn't buy it. And what happens is you buy a whole bunch of BS that you don't need, by the way. I'll just share that. So when I started shifting my mindset, because I wanted to focus more on my business and get that up and running, and it wasn't as important to save money at the store. And I started releasing that lack mindset and realizing that I needed to have an abundant mindset in my business, and my thoughts were creating my reality. They were creating things. I was designing my life. It became like ordering groceries in. Like I didn't even want to go to the grocery store anymore. I just wanted to order them in just for the sake of saving time. And I have to tell you, I have more food in my house than ever before. And I never feel a strain on groceries because it's just not a thought anymore. I don't put my energy on trying to save $1 here or there. And I've had this argument with several people where I say I order Whole Foods on Amazon because it's far away from my house. It's a $5 delivery fee and I tip the person $5. So for $10, and now gas is what, like $4 or $5 a gallon, $6 in California. I was just there a couple weeks ago. So the time it takes you to drive somewhere, then you have to shop there, then you have to drive back. So the money to drive, you're grabbing extra things that you don't need in the store, and you're driving back. $10 is what I spend to have my groceries delivered on my front doorstep, and they ring the doorbell. So thank you. Sherry's like, amen, sister. That's it. Totally. I'm telling you. All day long, I will have groceries delivered to me because then I don't have to leave and go get them, and I get exactly what I need.
Yeah.
No time wasted, no worrying about saving money. I'm generating money with the time I have that I'm not at the grocery store. And that's my mindset. So that's my story today.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I feel the same way. There's my time is worth money. And so therefore, if it's wasting my time, then I am wasting money. And so I was out the other day and had to get some gas for my car. And the gas station was right next to the post office. So I stopped there. I could have drove 5 miles and saved maybe a nickel, but was that time really worth the extra, 30 cents I would have saved? I say no. Everything in life is a trade. Yeah, it's true. We do trade everything in our life, and we have to put a value on it. Put a value. My husband and I were trying to fix our dishwasher at one point. Now, my husband is in cybersecurity, and he works for major corporations. And we're sitting on the floor, and we're both getting really upset with each other because it's just not going well. And I said, do you realize how much money is sitting on this floor right now between both of us and our time? We can pay somebody a quarter of what this is to fix it without the anxiety. And so we paid somebody to fix a dishwasher because it wasn't worth our stress. It wasn't worth our anxiety. It wasn't worth the frustration. And the guy fixed it in 10 minutes. And it would have taken us 3 hours.
That's the other thing, right? Our expertise. And, I think if it's something that you want to learn, right? If it's something you want to figure out and you want to learn and it's something you enjoy to do, that's just not me. Like my washer broke and I told my husband 10 or 12 times, just go buy a new washer, go buy a new washer, go buy a new washer. No, he wanted to fix it. So he fixed the first problem. Then the next problem came up. He fixed the second problem. And by the way, in the end, when the guy came to look at it, we had to pay that guy to come look at it. He told us to go buy a new washer. So we should have just bought it about $300 ago, but whatever. So I was like, just get the new washer. I have a retreat this weekend. When I come back, just have the new washer in the house. Let's just take care of it. Right. So for me, I don't want to trouble through those types of things. I just want to, what is the quickest route for me to get it taken care of? And that's how my brain thinks. So because I want to do that, I know that I need to provide the income that allows me to make those choices. So I choose activities that produce income so I can make those choices.
Exactly.
I think my mother-in-law said this once about, I think it was my ex-mother-in-law had said it about my ex-husband. And she said, you either are smart enough to make enough money to afford people to fix things for you, or you're not, and you have to be the one that fixes everything or something like that. And I was like, that's true. You either decide you want to afford it and then you pay other people to do it, or you're the one that's fixing the things because you feel like in your mind, it's saving you money to fix it yourself. And I could challenge that all day long. And I think someone put in here, time is the only thing we have the most precious thing of, right? You're trading. It's a trade-off, time or money. And if you can generate the money, pay someone to do it for you.
I absolutely agree with you 100%. So what's stopping you from having that mindset to be able to produce the money, generate the money? By the way, we don't make money. The government makes money. Okay, they print the bills, they make money. We don't make money, we generate money. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to make money because the government will be coming looking at you. Well, how are you making money? We generate money, we move it through us. Money is just another energy. We put so much weight on it and so much responsibility on it. It's just another energy that you can flow to you and through you and through your business. But these archetypes are going to get in your way of building your business or helping you with your health goals or weight loss or relationships, all the things that we treasure so much. These archetypes can get in your way if you're not aware of them. And that's why I love sharing this with you all today, so that you can be aware of them, because you can start listening to what you're saying to yourself and to others. I think you'll be shocked at how you project these onto other people. So in the most, well, it's not intentional, let me put it that way, but a lot of my clients have very loving families who come to them with the second and third portion. Well, just this little bit more, right? Just this little bit more. So there's that not enough. I'm not giving you enough love. You're not receiving enough love. Not intentional, but people are doing these to you. They're projecting them onto you. So now that you're aware of these four, you'll start seeing them. You'll start paying attention. You'll start seeing, oh my gosh, what did that person just say? I wonder if you're playing with that archetype of burden and responsibility. Oh my gosh, I just said, I need one more cookie. I didn't have enough cookies. I need one more. You're going to start finding yourself hearing and understanding these archetypes. And then what? But then they need to be changed. And we can't always change them with our thoughts. That's the hard part to get past. Our conscious thoughts. Well, let me put it this way. A neuroscientist once told me that you can change the rewiring in your brain. And in order to do that, it takes 10,000 repetitions of the same wording over and over and over again. Now, what usually happens is that we mess up about 9,997 and we have to start all over again. That's how conscious thought works to make changes. So not very successful. But when we start working with the subconscious mind, my clients make their changes quickly, and they make them easily, and they make them safely, because the brain won't make a change unless it's safe. And that's because we're changing a part within that is, I can't point to it and say it's right here. I can't say it's right here. We don't know where the subconscious mind is, but we do know that it controls all of our emotions and our habits. So any habit that we've talked about that's been formed, and you want to change the habit, the hard way is 10,000 repetitions over and over and over again, or start changing your subconscious mind. And if you're fearing the numbers on the scale, if you're busy in your business, but you're not producing the revenue that you'd like, you're battling with self-doubt or overwhelm, or you struggle with making yourself do it. My typical client says to me, I know what I need to do. I can't get myself to do it. Whether that's sales calls, whether that's their eating plan, whether that's saying I love you to their husband more often, they know what they need to do. They can't get themselves to do it. And that is because one, if not more, of these archetypes are at play, and they're dominating their lives. So if you'd like to learn more, break through your BS, here's my calendar link. You can click on, I think Colleen's putting it in the chat. You can go ahead and click on it. We'll set up a time to chat. This is really about just chatting with you about what's going on for you.
I don't have your link. So can you drop it in the chat? Can you see the chat, or you can stop sharing if you want to? I don't know where your link is. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't, if you want to digitally put that in so people can just
I will do that.
do a breakthrough your BS call with you for 30 minutes, that would be awesome. I highly recommend when someone offers you strategy sessions to do breakthroughs like this, that you take everybody up on those. Why is that so important? Because then you just do there you go. It's so important because then you guys have the opportunity to break through something that you have been struggling with, right? Vicki is the expert. And so never be afraid to take the time to spend 30 minutes. I met with someone that gave a free call for Akashic record reading. Changed my life, y'all. I'm just going to tell you right now, it changed my life. So you never know what a 30-minute call with someone can do for you. And when someone offers it to you for free, take it. You know, I'm serious. Take it, because this could be, you know, things are presented, people are presented, events are presented into our path at a certain time for a certain purpose. And if you believe that, then you'll take advantage of it. And I've known Vicki for a long time. She's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment that people are always put in our path for a reason.
Yeah.
And we don't always know what that reason is right away. We don't know what's going to happen. So take the chance and just talk.
That's correct. That's correct. Does anyone have any questions for Vicki on anything she talked about today, or would you like to make a comment to the group about something that you heard, or any comment you like to make? You can just unmute yourself and make a comment or ask a question. I want to give this time for anyone. I think a common question. Go ahead, Donna. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought that was great. I mean, it really was food for thought. You know, I would have liked to done the other 4, but I'll take the 4 that we did. Yeah. So no, I really thought that was a great presentation. I did really enjoyed it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, Donna, if you want to put your contact in the chat already, I'll go ahead and send that to you. The whole survey, the whole 8 questions.
Okay. I was just going to put something in, but
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I didn't want to upfront you, so I didn't want to put it. I wanted to make
go
sure
ahead.
everybody
All of
gets
you,
it.
yeah, all of you should be putting your information in the chat. It's how, if you met somebody here today that you heard them say where they were from and who they are, and you want to connect with them a little bit deeper, please do so. That's what these are all about, for you to connect with the right person in the group. It doesn't mean you need to connect with everyone, but just connect with the right person. I did put some links in there as well. And Vicki, that was just superb. It was amazing. You are right up my alley, girl. You are my energy sister when it comes to this, because you know how I am about mind, and it has to start with our choices that we make every day. We either build ourselves up or burn ourselves down every day based on how we think. Right? So we have those choices every day. You get to make those. And if you're struggling to make the right choices every day, align with someone like Vicki to assist you. That's important. We need to align with the people that's right for us at that time to really assist us when we're struggling. Right. And I think it's very important. And I just want to thank you, Vicki, for such a phenomenal presentation. I dropped our meetup link, which all of you know, right? Because my birthday's next month on April 7th. We're having a really big networking event. I put that in there. Yes, I'm celebrating. I'm turning 50. I've never celebrated my birthday before. So I'm going to do it myself because I'm turning 50. So, and it's on that day. So I'm really excited. Come, we'll have a good time. Show up 5 minutes early. I'll be dancing all sweaty and stuff, in my office. And then also, I'd love for you guys to join our Facebook group if you haven't. This is a great place for you to advertise who you are, what you do. It's a great place for you to invite people to your events, right? It's a good place for you to connect with our other members. So we invite you to be there as well. And I'm just thankful that you all took time and energy out of your day to be here to give Vicki your attention and respect, for her to teach you something new that maybe you didn't already know, or reinforce something for you that you might have already known, but you haven't really addressed it lately. Pam, you're unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Well, Vicki, thank you so much. I took 2 pages of notes. The comment, can I do that?
You're a writer. So
I am a writer. And I could write something. I really like that you gave us strategies and techniques. It's one thing to identify it and acknowledge it. It's another thing to know what to do. So when you were talking about self-talk, I have already turned it around, but I'm going to continue to do that because it makes me feel so much better. Someone told me a couple of weeks ago to put out in the universe what I want. So I keep saying, Jack Pearson, come knock on my door. Jack Pearson's from This Is Us, if anybody watches it. So I keep putting out in the universe what I want. And I feel like that's what you're doing and suggesting as well. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Jay Ree's doing something similar with that. Jay Ree, did you want to share?
Yeah, actually, I got taught last night that I needed to list out every single detail of the man that I want called into my life.
I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend.
You are, and I love it, Colleen. She's just incredible, ladies. I don't know if y'all agree, but I'll agree for you if you don't. I think
it's
amazing.
important. How are you going to get the man that you want in your life if you're not detailing out everything that you want him? If anything, it helps confirm to you that when you do meet the man, these are the most important things for you and not to settle. It's important that he has these qualities, and you don't need to settle.
It's like a mission statement. Seriously, It's like a mission statement for what you want and know exactly what you want, just like what we're doing in our work, but it works for relationships too.
Yeah.
Like they say, you can't walk into a sandwich shop and say, I'll take a sandwich. Because what's going to happen? They're going to be like, awesome. What type? You have to detail out everything you want on your sandwich. So when you talk to the universe and you say, I would love an abundance amount of money. Okay. What does that mean exactly?
Well, for some people, abundance is $10. So
correct.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well,
I have to interject here, Jay Ray. I actually did that and it did work. And
oh my gosh, it worked.
When I was a single parent. And I kept praying for the same person. I knew what I wanted. And one day my son brought home his foreman and I married him. We've been together 32 years now.
It worked.
Wow, I love that.
That's incredible. 32 years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who would have knew? Who would have knew somebody came for dinner?
It works.
You have to be very specific though, because and this is not a good story, but it's a lesson. A friend of mine said, I want my husband to be home more. I don't want him working so hard. I want a new car. These are the things she wished for, right? Well, she got those things because her husband got in a car accident, wrecked their car. They got a new car. He couldn't work so be very specific. Don't just be general. Like I said, I want a new car because I've earned what I need. Put the caveats on there. So
I love that. You're right. You're absolutely right. So we need to be careful of what we say, because what we say is what we want, and what we want is what we're pulling toward us, right? That's the energy that we're putting out there. But you have to believe it too, right? Like Donna believed, as she prayed and prayed and prayed over and over and over again, that right person would show up. So that's part of it.
And that's
this was phenomenal.
They get in your way. So the belief system, the BS gets in your way so that you don't believe, and that can be changed. Just let you know it can change.
Yeah. That little subconscious goes in and tries to hijack it from all the past stuff, right? It does. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for being here with us today. I'm super excited for next week. So what do we have next week? Hold on. Let me go to my meetup, because I don't even know what we have for next week on what would next
31st?
Thursday. Oh, on the 31st. I'm glad you said that. Okay. So let me see what we have for the event on the 31st and who is hosting that, because I don't even know. I didn't even look to see what it was, but if you can give me 1 second, this thing is going really, really slow because I'm streaming. Okay, let me see what we have. And you guys already know how to get into our meetup to find, let me see, to find what that is. So the events that we have for the 31st is going to be, let me see, I'm clicking on it right now. Oh my gosh, this thing keeps erroring out. All right, well, forget it. I can't find it. So you'll see it come out in our newsletter. We do a weekly newsletter, so you'll see it come out in the newsletter. Or when we add it to Meetup, it'll automatically notify you, because all of you are in Meetup now. So it'll notify you what the next one is. I want to say I thought it was Dr. Melissa Balazan, and she's going to be talking to us a lot about supplements and medications that we take. So I think it's her, but I'm not sure, but you'll get notified when we post it. Sorry about that. My computer's running super slow because I'm streaming everywhere right now. So that's the problem. All right, ladies, have a great rest of your week, and we'll
You
see
too.
you again soon.